Hi there, how are you? Welcome back to my channel Apurva Prapti. Today I am here with a new video on the topic trigonometry, and this video is designed in such a way that this will help the students of class 10 who are reading either in SEBA or in CBSE board. And other than this, so the contents of the video will help the candidates who are going to appear in the competitive types of examination in upcoming days, because in most competitive types of examination the contents from trigonometries are also asked. Guys, before entering to the chapter, let me give a brief introduction on the chapter trigonometry. Okay, so guys, trigonometry, okay, it's a very interesting chapter, you must know it, and you will be glad by knowing it that the concept of trigonometry was launched in India first of all, and later it was spread all over the world in the flow of. And one more interesting fact is that the trigonometry has a wide application in the field of science and technology, as well as the trigonometry is used in measuring the distance between two planets and two stars. So it is used in measuring the length of the roads, towers, as well as its concept is also used in construction purpose. Okay, so guys, come on, let's enter to the chapter 8, introduction to trigonometry. Guys, let me analyze the term trigonometry. Okay, it's the trigonometry. Okay, trigonometry. So guys, if we analyze the term, we get that actually this term is consisted by combining three different words. What they are? TRI, tri, GU, and gon, and symmetry. Mind this, all they are Greek words, and each of them have different meaning. Like tri means guys three. How many? Three. Gon means guys sides. You know sides, like arms. Okay. And this is metry means nothing but the measurement. MEASU. Okay. So three sides and measurement. That means so simple here. This chapter will deal with the three sides of something. But what about something? Who has the three sides? You know it. Only the triangle has, what guys? Three sides. Mind this. So this is the triangle. And what is the triangle? Any plane surface surrounded by three sides is called triangle. But listen, this trigonometry will especially deal with a right angle triangle. And how a right angle triangle look like? This is the right angle triangle. That means the triangle having a 90-degree angle is called right angle triangle. Let here ABC be the triangle, and here D is the right angle. Hence this is the right angle triangle. So the trigonometry deals with the angles and the sides of the triangles, but for this the triangle must have to be a right angled triangle. Here I have drawn the triangle ABC, and here B is the right angled. Okay, so now you should know how this trigonometry deals with the angles and the sides of the respective triangles. Okay, for making this chapter interesting, you can consider this trigonometry as a game to be played among the angles and the sides of the respective triangles. And for this, I am often saying the triangle must have to be right angled triangle. Okay, then we can approach at it. So guys, one more thing I would like to clear here. So when this is a right angle triangle, then we can give individual name to each sides of the triangle. Guys, since here the a right angle triangle occurs here, so to make the chapter interesting, I would like to clear one more concept for you, that is the Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem for right angle triangle. So here we can get a right angle triangle, that is ABC, and it is right angle at B. And here listen, when the triangle is a right angle triangle, then we can give name to each and every sides. For example, the line that is parallel to the ground or surface is called simply base, BAC, and denoted by B. And the line so straight to the base is called perpendicular. Here AB is the perpendicular and denoted by P. Here the line joining this perpendicular and the base, that means the joining the line joining AB and BC is called hypotenuse, denoted by S. Here the AC is the hypotenuse. So when there is a right angle triangle, in that case the Pythagoras theorem states that the sum of the square of base and the perpendicular is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. Here sum of the square of base, square is here BC, BC is the base, so the square of base is BC plus, sum is plus, and this AB is the perpendicular, AB, which is equal to the square of hypotenuse, AC. You should remind this theorem because later we will have a use of this theorem. So in short, AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. Clear? Very good. Now guys, you have to know, does this base, hypotenuse and perpendicular are fixed for each and every angle of the respective triangles? No. With respect to the different angles, we have different base and perpendicular. And you should mind this. This hypotenuse will be always fixed because the longest side of the right angle triangle is hypotenuse. Okay? So we have to exchange this base and perpendicular in different cases. So how you determine which one will be the base and perpendicular for the respective angles? So simple. On which line the angle is lying, that will be the base. Suppose we are considering the angle C. This is the angle C. So in this case, angle C is lying on this line BC. So in this case, or with respect to the angle C, BC will be the base. Okay? And the line which is standing upon the base will be simply perpendicular. So BC is the base and this is the line standing upon this. Hence this AB will be the perpendicular for this angle C. So this is base and this is perpendicular, then the remaining side will be hypotenuse. In the same way, if we consider angle A, okay, just imagine of rotating this angle in this way, like this. So if you rotate this angle, the angle will be like this, also the triangle will be like this. So here A will become, and here is the B, here is the C. Okay. Just think of rotating this triangle. Okay. So if you rotate this in this way and in anti-clockwise direction, then it will look like this. So in this case, guys, listen. Here the angle A is lying in this line. That means the angle A is upon AB. Okay. So here A will be the, with respect to the angle A, this AB will be the base, because on this line the angle is lying. So simple. And on this line BC, that means on base, so this is standing upon. Okay. And simply the line BC is standing upon this line AB. Therefore this BC will be the perpendicular for this angle A, and the remaining side AC will be the hypotenuse. So if we consider angle A, then this AB will be the base for angle A, and BC will be the perpendicular, and AC will be the hypotenuse. And for angle B, it is very clear. So for angle B, this BC is the base, AB is the perpendicular, and the remaining AC is the hypotenuse. Okay. Now let us come to a another part of the chapter, that is trigonometric ratios. What they are? Trigonometric ratios. So here we will now learn how these ratios are taken considering any one angle with respect to their corresponding sides. We have 6 trigonometric ratios. They are SIN, sine, mind this, CUSINE, cosine, tangent, 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 cotangent, COTAN, cotangent, cotangent, sine, cosine, tangent, cotangent, secant, 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 and cosecant. And one more thing I would like to clear here. The sine is written in short as sine, SIN. Cosine is written in short as cos. Tangent is taken as tan, and this cotangent is taken as cot. Secant is taken as sec, and this cosecant is taken as cosec. Mind this, if they are alone, that means only sine, cos, tan, cot, sec, cosec, they are nothing and invalid in the field of mathematics. Okay, unless you put a angle in the side of the sine, cos, tan, cot, sec or cosec. Suppose we are considering the sine ratio of the angle C. Which one is C? Cos ratio of angle C, tan ratio of angle C, cot ratio of angle C, sec ratio of angle C, and cosec ratio of angle C. Suppose, yes. Now, what is the meaning of sine C? Here in place of C we can take A, B also. That means A means A angle as well as B angle. That means the sine ratio of angle C, sine ratio of angle A, sine ratio of angle B, like that. So what is the meaning of sine C? That means what is the sine ratio of angle C? Okay. This is nothing, simply. Now consider the angle C. So in this triangle here C is the angle, okay, for which we are finding the trigonometric ratio. So with respect to this angle, this BC is the base, AB is the perpendicular, and AC is the hypotenuse. So sine ratio of a certain angle is simply the ratio between perpendicular and P. P means perpendicular and hypotenuse. Here, with respect to with respect to angle C, which is the perpendicular, with respect to angle C here, AB is the perpendicular. Which one? AB. In place of P, we shall take AB. And H means hypotenuse. With respect to angle C, which is hypotenuse, AC is the hypotenuse. That means AB by AC, or AB is to AC, will be the sine ratio of angle C. In the same way, cos is the ratio between base and hypotenuse. B means base, H means hypotenuse. So with respect to this angle C, which is the base and perpendicular hypotenuse, they will remain same for the respective angle. So BC is the base, hypotenuse is the AC. Next guys, tan C. Okay, with respect to angle C, tan will be P by B. P by B. P means perpendicular, and perpendicular is AB. B means base, here base is given BC. Okay, cot is simply the inverse of tan, that means B by P. Tan is P by P, then cot is B by P. Here B is base BC, P is perpendicular is A, B. Sec C. So with respect to angle C, sec will be the inverse of cosine. That means H by B. So what is the H here? hypotenuse H by B na, AC by BC, and this is cosec is simply the inverse of sine. That means H by P. Here H is AC and this is A B. So simple. So mind this. If you memorize for three of them, that means sine, cos and tan, sine, cos and tan, then these three will come automatically, because this tan is inverse of cot, cos is inverse of sec, and this sine is inverse of cosec. Okay. In the same way, you can find the trigonometric ratio for remaining two angles A and B. So this will be like sine A will be P by H. That means with respect to angle A, which will be the perpendicular, we shall put here, and which will be the hypotenuse, we shall put here. In the same way, cos A will be also B by H, but you must have to know which will be the base with respect to angle A and hypotenuse. So in the same way, we can get tan A, cot A, sec A, cosec A, as well as sin B, cos C, tan B, sin B, cos B, tan B, cot B, sec B, cosec B. In this way, we can find all other trigonometric ratios for the other two remaining angles. So simply for any angle theta, the trigonometric ratio will be like this: sin theta is equal to P by H. That means perpendicular by hypotenuse. Cos theta is equal to B by H. Tan theta is equal to P by B. Cot theta is equal to B by P. It's the inverse of this one. Sin, cos, tan, cos. Sec theta will be inverse of cos, H by B. Okay, and cosec theta will be H by P. Okay, so this is the introduction to the basic trigonometric ratio. So finally we can show the relation among them like that. Sin theta is related to cosec theta. How? It will be 1 by cosec theta. Cos theta is related to sec theta. How? It is 1 by sec theta. And tan theta is related to cot theta. How? It is 1 by cos theta, like this. So this is the introduction to the trigonometric ratio, and in next class we shall enter to the exercise 8.1, and there we shall discuss all the questions from the given exercise. So till then, bye bye. You just watch this video and let me know by commenting on this video whether you have understood or not. Thank you. Signing off. Bye bye.